Well, I wanted to show you guys some of the comparison between a couple of years ago and now. So I'm out here on the bottom swell. I'm just going to give you a shot of the growth in the trees versus the way it was back in 2017. But if I were to do it over out there in the food forest, which I'm gonna revamp it because I tried apples out there and they've died. I think peach would do pretty good out there. I'm gonna experiment with that, but the thing that does great here on this property is mulberry, and I'm going to try to propagate. I've got a mulberry tree. I've shown it in other videos. I'll put a link to that. And that tree just puts out. The more you pick, the more it makes. It just stopped probably 2 weeks ago, 3 at the most, and just great tree, great fruit. And I don't know if it was intentional or not, but we've got mulberry trees coming up, and they just, the more you hack on them, the more they grow. So I would do mulberry, black walnut in the overstory. I've already got my nitrogen fixers out there, but if I were to start over, I would do nitrogen fixers. I would do locust, because they pretty much they pop up everywhere in the pasture. They're one of the first things that'll pop up, and so nitrogen fixer would be locust. Understory would be mulberry. Overstory would be black walnut, and another overstory productive tree would be persimmon. I've got persimmon all over the place. And we got some mature persimmons down here on the eastern fence line that we've harvested some fruit from. So I would do black walnut here. Right here I would do black walnut, persimmon, mulberry, and locust in the understory. And you could also put in some things like blackberry grows good. The peach trees that I've put in have done really well. They don't seem to be bothered by any kind of blight or anything, but apples haven't done that well here. There's that fire blight, and you know, my plum trees are doing pretty good. I don't see any around, but there's an American plum that grows here, so that's a possibility. Hopefully, I was hoping for some plums this year, but I didn't get any. These trees are, they're immature trees, but they're probably 3 years old. It's probably 10 feet tall, maybe. I've seen some apple trees on the way. There's a huge apple tree that's full of apples, not very far from here, but it's kind of out on a. There's not any house nearby, and I really don't want to jump somebody's fence and have them come out there and wonder what the hell I'm doing. But that tree is gangbusters in apples the entire time I've been out here, so I'd like to get cuttings off of that tree, or I'd like to at least taste the apples and see if they're any good. But apples can grow, and there's obviously some blight resistant apple trees, and I have a few, but I haven't had any success with the ones I put in swales at all. The pecan trees, they're growing, but they're not doing well. When I moved out here, I thought this was a pecan tree. I told my buddy I'd never seen such a huge pecan tree in my life. Obviously it was a black walnut, and now that I'm here for 3 going on 4 years, black walnut is really the dominant species here on my property, and I think in the region as well, but people cut them. They just cut them for wood. It's kind of sad, really. Some people do sell the nuts to there's a place not too far away that processes them into, I don't know what, but they have these stations in the fall where you can take all your black walnuts, and they give you, I think, 17 cents a pound, which is ridiculous. You can get, for pecans in the east, you can get, sometimes you can get $1 a pound, easy. More than that, depends on how good they are. But there's no sense in wasting time to pick up black walnuts to take and sell. It's not worth the effort. We harvest ours here, and you have to have a special cracker. I've shown that in other videos. I'll post the link up here.